Hey, what's up everybody? It's Miz back, and it's day 40 with the 40-gallon Reef tank. Just wanted to do an update since my last one about the algae outbreak, and just let everybody know I've been keeping the light off pretty much 99% of the time. Only been putting it on just to do some feedings, and I also went out to my local fish store and picked up about 5 pounds of live rock, which you can see I placed up in between the 3 main centerpieces just to create some overhangs and hopefully seed some coral and algae. I really don't want to have any issues with black or brown algae starting to take over this nice white rock. So what I've done is started to scrape some of that coral and algae off the purple rocks there in an effort to start seeding that and spreading that around the tank. Now they look really nice and purple, but I don't know who else does this, but I know that to some degree some of that purple is painted on there. So that's part of the original reason why I didn't buy that rock in the first place, is because, you know, it's some of it's paint, which I don't really like the idea behind that at all. But because of the nuisance algae outbreak, I decided that I'd stick a couple pounds in there just to see if I could, you know, start to get that coral to grow. So on top of that, I'm using about a quarter of the recommended dosage for Power Up. Using about a half a capful every other day, just to kind of make sure that those levels are in check as well. So far so good. I've seen a pretty major reduction in the brown algae, and I still continue to see new little dots of coral and algae, pink and purple, starting to blossom up everywhere, even though that I've had the lights pretty much out all the time. I also have a light above this tank, which is a dimmable dining room fixture, which had 3 60-watt bulbs in it. So I opened up that light fixture and I took 2 of them out, so that no matter what, even if that dimmable light's on full blast, it's still only a third of the potential wattage that it was outputting before, just in case, you know, that was a contributing factor to some of the algae that we were getting. Been doing more frequent water changes as well. This weekend I did about a 20% water change, and I did about a 20% water change last week as well as cleaning out the filter in the back, which you can't see, but it's in the back left behind that purple rock, and it's a Fluval 70 Biomech Chem filter, which isn't really ideal for this, but I've got it kitted out with a ton of extra bio ceramics from Eheim and Fluval, and I've also got a Chemi-Pure Elite in there. So it's not running its stock filters, so to speak. So this is just an update, day 40. Everybody in the tank seems to be doing well. I did lose I had another blood red fire shrimp in there. I had 2 in there, but my main guy that I put in there originally doesn't seem to want any friends. He gets all feisty and starts throwing his claws up, and I wake up the next morning and, you know, they're covered in hermit crabs because somebody lost the battle overnight. So he's going to be in there by himself for a little bit longer. The damsels, everybody keeps asking me, what are you going to do with the damsels? The damsels were supposed to go. They were supposed to go about a week ago, but I got caught up with the algae thing, and that kind of took precedence over the damsels. But eventually, the damsels will be replaced with some clowns. I'm planning on getting a bubble tip anemone in there. You know, starting off slow. I do have a vacation in July coming up, so I don't want to get too crazy before I'm going to be heading out of here for a week. But that's it for now. I appreciate you guys checking it out, loving the subscribers. I'm gonna get in for some zoom ups real quick here before we take off. So yeah, you can see that purple rock looks awesome, but where it's been broken off, you can see it's very bright white. So it hasn't really had a chance to reestablish coral and algae in that area. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I didn't get that rock until, you know, I really felt it necessary. But it does have a pretty good coating of some pink and purple coral and algae. I'll zoom up on these tips here. If you guys can remember, a couple videos ago, did a zoom in on these, and this is pretty much where they were. They haven't really gotten necessarily much worse, which I'm happy to report. So here's the black algae that I was talking about. I've talked to so many people, gotten so many different advice. It's anything from bacterial to fungal to microbial to cyanobacteria, sponges, you know, all types of different stuff. But it really hasn't gotten much worse since I've had the light off. And again, we're only at day 40, so you know, some of this stuff is normal. I'm trying not to freak out too much, but you can see that there's some new purple coral and algae growing in there. Lots of little pieces popping up. Unfortunately, my camera likes to get out of focus right when I get in where I want to be. There we go. So there's a good shot. On the right, you can see the black, and on the left in the center there, on the white, you can see the coralline. So yeah, appreciate you guys checking it out. Thanks.